How did this journey start for you? Right, I also know you come from a very different background. You were a banker before, so how did that journey transition happen, and how was your journey so far? Or rather, the beginning. I'd like to talk more about when you started.
Part of it,
Right.
and not so fun part. Well, yeah, so I've, when I was listening to all your stories, I could connect with a lot of you. I found it interesting. I found it familiar because it's pretty close to where I started. Maybe not exactly, but in a large way, I had nothing to do with design. I was in the banking industry. So I built my own website and I and started on my own. That's it, literally. I just, Wix.com lets you build your own website.
That's what incidentally that was our
Yeah,
first
right?
website too.
So I made my website and then I put it on my Facebook page, and then I obviously was a young mom, so I had a lot of mommy friends. So I did mommy friends nurseries and all that. That's how it really started. My babysitter was a graphic designer. So she was like, I can do this for you and I will charge you by the hour. And I was like, okay, fine, just do it. So she made my logo and whatever. And that was Weespaces. That is the logo we use even today.
It's like the universe is meant to, make you start this journey, right? Like your nanny being a graphic designer.
That was too much, right? That's not going
Yeah. What does interior design mean to you? So I know this is a word that's very loosely used around in the industry, right? Even I didn't understand in the beginning when I got into this field. Like I didn't understand. I didn't know the difference between an architect and an interior designer and a stylist. Yeah. There's a lot of subdivisions that are forming in this thing. So for you, what does interior design mean, and what's the entire scope of this?
Whereas to me, it is really about delving very deep into human psychology and understanding how a space can fit in certain person's psychology and how they visualize a space really.
Who are starting to talk to them. So what sort of bring in this aspect, what sort of material suggestions do you give them? What do you like to use? In the sustainable material range.
I think, in general, my design philosophy allows for a lot of natural elements. That's really what it centers and focuses around. Because of the vibe and the feel and all of that it creates, and because I'm just attached to elements like wood and cane and cotton, linen. So all of these things speak to me and speak to the vibe that I try to create for the space. So eventually when clients see that and come to us, they are somewhere sort of, like saying yes to that to an extent, you know what I mean? They're saying that, okay, we're coming to you for this look and feel. Along with that comes the usage of these materials. So a large part of it for me is to educate them.
You started off from Facebook and this thing. So how did you evolve, and also when did you rather start building your team?
I think the ethos of the page, even till now, is being able to share my perspective with it. I don't know if you all know her, but Lavanya writes content. She joined us first, and then when she joined, she pitched to me to be a content writer for my blog. And I said to her, look, I love writing, and I don't need you to write for me. But I really need help in other areas. And she was like, I really like you, I really want to write this. I said, okay, but don't think it can be blogging right now, because we have a lot of shit to do. So she was open for it, she went on board, and it was just two of us, till 2020, 2021, I think. So just pre-COVID, I think we hired 2 or 3 people, and we were 4 people for some time. Something happened this year, and I don't know what happened, but 2022 we suddenly just randomly exploded from 4 to 10, 11.
Yeah. So what's like the top 3 tips that you would give for someone who is like going to redo their space, and if they have to keep sustainability in mind, what would your tips be?
I think one of the easiest things that anyone can do is to remove, your home is laid out in a certain way for all of us for years and years and years. So we're used to seeing it in a certain way. And then we'll look at it and say, okay, I want to change it up. Maybe I should get a new couch. My suggestion is look at it as a blank slate. Look at it as take a piece of white paper and think and put pen to paper and say, how would I want this room to be laid out so it works better for me?
Empty out the whole
Empty it out.
space.
I know physically it's hard to empty out. Ideally, that would be nice. If you remove all the furniture in your room and just stand in an empty space and allow it to speak. If you can't do that, at least do it on a piece of paper. Lay out for yourself and see. And try not to be focused on what it was and replicate that on paper. Try to start and see. A lot of times we need change more often than we allow ourselves to, change. So allow yourself to reimagine your own space, because what you were 10 years back, you are not the same person. Your needs have changed, who you are has changed. I think that's the simplest thing you can do. The second most simple thing you can do is paint. It's the easiest way to give your space a completely new look and feel. And it's so simple. You don't have to do anything.
And you can do it yourself.
You can do it yourself, but we don't have to. If you want to, you can. But the fun part is you can change it whenever you want to. You can. You're not really committing because you can swatch it and see before you paint it. So it's an easy progression, I would say. And then I think look at all the things that you own with a really keen eye. Do you really love it? And if you love it, why do you love it? And if you don't love it, what can you do to love it and still keep it? And then there will be some pieces who can't keep it, and they just have to go. And it's okay to let go. And once you let go, you make space for a new. So I think that process is always nice to do.